Good afternoon. This is Sandra Hess, founder of DTC Wine Workshops, and I am excited to kick off DTC Wine Case Study number 8 featuring Zaca Mesa Winery and WineDirect. In today's case study, we're going to
Hi, I'm Kori DeVries. I'm the direct-to-consumer sales manager at Zaca Mesa. We are a small winery. We started in 1973 here in Los Olivos, California. We focus on Rhone varietals. Syrah would be our flagship grape. We're a small company. We have about 19 full-time employees, and we produce about 35,000 cases.
Hey, thanks. I'm Jim Agger. I'm the Vice President of Business Development and Marketing at WineDirect. And if you're not familiar with WineDirect, we provide services to wineries to help them delight their customers, grow their direct-to-consumer business, and thrive in the wine direct-to-consumer channel. Those services include in the main fulfillment, e-commerce through our Vin65 platform, and now marketplace distribution through a number of marketplace partnerships we have, most notably with luxury cruise lines and eBay and a few others.
Great. Thank you, Jim. And thank you both for taking some time out to meet with me today as we uncover the true ROI of using WineDirect fulfillment services. So let's talk about state of the industry as we get started. Here we are wrapping up Q1 2017 in the wonderful world of direct wine sales. We know that 2.33 billion is the value of wines shipped in 2016, representing 5 million cases. That's a lot of wine being delivered to the homes. And so I'd like to open up today's case study with, first of all, understanding how and why Zaca Mesa made the decision to go from self-fulfilling to using WineDirect for their fulfillment services. So let's start off there, Kori.
Sure. We started a partnership with WineDirect maybe 5 years ago. We started off using them just for our club shipments. Our club is about 3,000 club members. That's a lot of work for us to do at the winery, so we decided giving WineDirect the opportunity to do the fulfillment for us freed us up a lot for what we do best, which is selling wine. And they've done a great job for us. It's been a seamless transition, and it allows us to really go after what we need to do is the wine sale. So if I can leave everything to WineDirect, that just makes it so much easier for us to focus on whether it's the tasting room, phone sales, email campaigns, and how we handle those customers. So that gives us a lot of time with our small team.
Excellent. So Jim, over to WineDirect. When does it make sense to begin to partner with WineDirect for fulfillment services?
So, great question. So I'll answer the question about when does it make sense. You know, a while back, I used to have a pretty simple measurement. If you find yourself shipping, you know, more than 10 orders a day out of your tasting room, you should really consider outsourcing. But nowadays, it's much more complicated than that. You know, modern consumers, everything, you know, immediate, right? They want to order on their phones and place that order, and they want 2-day delivery. They want instantaneous order and shipment confirmation. Oh, by the way, you know, the days of the wine club where you get 2 reds and 2 whites are, you know, far past. Consumers want to customize each and every order. So you see this demand on fulfillment operations for further order customization, late cutoffs, and, you know, 7 to 10 day delivery times is really not acceptable for the modern consumer in this age of Amazon. So now when I talk to wineries about outsourcing with WineDirect, we talk about, like, what are you guys not able to do that you really wish you could do? Like, what are some of those unfulfilled dreams of your customers that keep you, you know, frustrated or keep you from realizing your true potential for your wine club or your DTC program? And then we start talking about things like, you know, customized packaging and doing custom clubs where you consumers can pick exactly what they put in each and every shipment, and guaranteeing that you're going to get every single shipment, whether it's your club or e-commerce, to the consumer in 2 days or less. Mm-hmm. And once we start opening up those types of opportunities, it makes a ton of sense to work with us.
Mm-hmm. I know that this past year, WineDirect has expanded greatly, not only with additional locations, but also with the technology. Do you want to share with us what that means for wineries like Zaca Mesa?
Sure. So, we've been beating this drum for years that the data about the package is just as important as the package. So, simple things like getting that tracking and shipment alert in the hands of the consumers, at noon instead of after midnight when they're already asleep. That stuff is critically important. So we've been doubling down on, probably most notably, we're building a new 200,000 square foot fulfillment center in the Napa Valley. And, our existing fulfillment center is great, but, the technology and more the physical handling equipment is about 10 or 15 years old. And, when that building was built, this degree of customization of every single order and this trend towards ordering 6, 9, 12 bottles per shipment really wasn't contemplated. So, this luxury experience that our customers are asking for now, where, every bottle needs to be, dusted and put in a special packaging that maybe has external or internal branding. Like, these are things that, most wine shippers weren't even contemplating, but now, it seems like it's table stakes. So to meet those rising demands, both of the consumer and our customers, we've really worked both on the physical side of our building and then technology. And if you just allow me to give you one more, for instance, we've just launched a program with UPS that allows shipment to the neighborhood UPS stores. So in our program, there's over 10,000 delivery points that are in major metro areas, and with thousands coming online each and every month going forward. And this solves a huge problem for consumers. And that is, it's not that convenient to receive a wine delivery. The default answer has always been like, hey, let's send it to a commercial address. But if you look at survey data, very few consumers actually want to receive deliveries at their work. It's something like in the recent UPS survey, I believe it's like 9% of consumers prefer to have orders delivered to, actually it's 5% of consumers prefer to have orders delivered to their business. So you need to offer consumers, a reasonable alternative. So that's why we developed this, this UPS access point solution in concert with UPS. So now you can guarantee that it's, controlled delivery. By the way, these are nice temperature controlled buildings, and you can get there after hours. Many of these places are open till 10 o'clock at night. And it solves one of the main problems. You ask, Kori or anyone else, what are your top 5 reasons people quit a wine club? And certainly one of those is inconvenient to, or it's inconvenient to receive deliveries. And that's especially true for first-time buyers. That person that came to the winery and had a great time.
Mm-hmm. You bring up some really interesting points, Jim, and thank you for that update, by the way, about how WineDirect continues to invest in technologies based on consumer demand. And I really love that you've always built your solutions from that angle. And so the couple points that you bring up, though, I talked about that we are on-demand consumers, and when we really look at now our buying habits, and I'm guilty of this myself. My husband and I are Amazon Prime users day in and day out. And so it really is about that on-demand, ease of use, customizations, and how quickly things can arrive and where they arrive. And so with that said, the traditional club model is really shifting. And at DTC Wine Workshops, we're seeing it not only in the iconic Napa Valley, but we're seeing it nationally. And so Kori, this next question goes back over to you. You mentioned, you're a 35,000 case producer. You've had plenty of time in to establish a loyal club base. Can you give us a little bit of, your insights around how WineDirect Fulfillment Services has helped your team better service your club members and customers throughout the year?
Sure. So with WineDirect, we started just with our club shipments, and then soon after that, we decided to give them our daily shipments as well. So every day, we are able to give the customers that quick 2 to 3 day shipping option. And the one thing that's important is when you're in the tasting room and you're selling the wine, everybody's having a great time. You don't want the service to end there. You want it to, finish when they get that wine at their house. So with WineDirect, it makes it easy, because when I'm telling these customers I'm selling them wine and I'm telling them, hey, this package will be here in 2 to 3 days, I mean, they're thrilled at that. And then I've got the confidence in WineDirect, they're going to deliver on that.
And, this is a question that comes up in almost every speaking engagement I'm at this past year, and that is, our club sales are great, we love our tasting room sales, our staff's doing a great job. How do we crack the code with wine online? And so
with WineDirect, so we were with them for a few years, and they came to us and told us, hey, we're going to open up a warehouse in Ohio. Well, that made sense to us right away, because 10% of my club is on the East Coast, and we could tell those club members or new club members, hey, we now have a facility, it's halfway across the country. Instead of it taking 5 to 7 days to get wine, whether it's a club shipment or just a purchase in the tasting room or on the phone, now with this Ohio facility, we're able to get that wine, again, 2 to 3 days to all our customers. So now every customer that we sell wine to, it could be in Florida or wherever, they're getting that wine within 2 to 3 days, shipping it out of our secondary location there in Ohio. And that's been great for us.
So that's a game changer. I mean, 2-3 years ago, it was very difficult to promise anybody even a week turnaround from, the West Coast to anywhere on the East Coast delivering. So Jim, back over to you. Tell us, let us in on the magic formula. How is WineDirect able to deliver wine from the West Coast to somebody in the East Coast within 2 to 3 days?
So there's really only one way to do that, and that you need to get your goods closer to the customer. And that's why we invested in an Ohio warehouse. We have actually now 3 fulfillment centers in California that allow our customers to, service the major metro areas, which is where a majority of tasting room visitation derives from. So the only way to, one, meet that need for delivery in 2 days or less, which, every year Deloitte comes out with a survey. It's a pre-holiday survey where they survey thousands of consumers. And one of the questions that I've been watching, they ask is, what do you consider fast delivery? Well, 2 years ago, it was 5 to 7 days. And then last year, it was 3 to 4 days. And now it's 2 days or less is considered fast delivery. So that's like a really clear definition of where that consumer expectation is, and certainly the obvious trend. I'm a little afraid to see what next year's survey is going to say. It's going to say, get it here by 4 p.m. and that's fast. But so we click that box by forward staging in Ohio, or having multiple warehouses in California. But there's another piece to this puzzle that we haven't really mentioned. But consumers not only want fast delivery, but they want free delivery. So living in this kind of post Amazon Prime age, the default kind of expectation from a customer is, I want it in 2 days. I want to order it today. I want it to ship the same day. I want to get my order confirmation within hours of ordering. And oh, by the way, I don't want to pay for shipping. And it's obvious, wine is heavy and it's a regulated commodity. And those surcharges when you're shipping someone's home or shipping to adult signature required order, that's $5 just right on top, so it's daunting for a winery to consider, like, how can I start subsidizing shipping? Well, one of the only things you can really do to combat the cost of shipping is move your goods closer to the consumer, especially in the East Coast, because those orders now go from a zone 8 to a zone 2, 3, or 4 at most. And the difference between a zone 4 case order and a zone 8 case order, which is shipped to New York from California versus Ohio, it's 50%. So right there you're kind of peeling like $20 out of your cost, and you get this amazing benefit of greater customer satisfaction. And there's one thing that we kind of haven't hit yet, but there's something else that happens kind of magically once you focus on getting that order to the consumer in 2 days or less, so your returns go down. And the reason that is when someone receives their tracking number, let's say it's on a Monday and the expected delivery date's the following Monday, not a lot of people know exactly where they're going to be a Monday, a week from now at sometime between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Mm-hmm. And but that's a completely different story when you're talking to someone, like Kori said, on the phone on a Wednesday or a Tuesday and said, would you like this wine before the weekend? Because, we can have it delivered to you before 4 p.m. On Friday, and then you're just off to the races. So I don't know if I said the exact number, but when you look at packages that have a transit time of 4 days and above and compare them to 3 days and below, the return rate is half for the packages that take 3 days or less. So that's another little, customer experience checkbox. Again, especially for those people who are having trouble getting their deliveries, you can, in that we see material impact on reducing club churn, reducing returns, and shipping expense that way.
Absolutely. And, studies, consumer studies are being taken all over the place now, thanks to our friends at Amazon and Zappos and others. And it was, a study in 2015 that if a brick and mortar business can show a consumer that their online order can be delivered within a reasonable time frame and in good condition, the first time they place an online order, they were 25% more likely to become repeat online buyers. And now that number's got up to 40% in 2016 study. So, confidence also from the consumer is really important. Zaca Mesa being able to deliver confidence, instill confidence in those first-time buyers and have a great time in the tasting room. The experience is dialed in. But like you said earlier, Kori, delivering that same in-person experience all the way through to the time the package is signed for is everything. And over 9,069 wineries now in the United States, according to Wines and Vines. This is a very competitive landscape. And so, I think that the story here and getting down into the ROI of partnering with WineDirect for fulfillment services is key. And also,
with the secondary location in Ohio, I've seen some big numbers change for us on the East Coast. It's funny, out of the top 10 states that we ship to, 6 of my top states are on the East Coast. And with that secondary location, it's our sales from 2015 to 2016. We had Virginia increased 18% in sales, Minnesota increased 20%, South Carolina increased 55%. So these are customers on the East Coast. We didn't really have that good of a connection with them before because, there's tons of wineries. They can get wine anywhere. But now with this warehouse in Ohio, with WineDirect and getting that delivered to them fast, we are getting the repeat orders. They're getting the wine fast. They're totally satisfied. And we're building these relationships and building more credibility just out of the gate with that first order to being able to deliver it.
As far as employee satisfaction, also, I'm hearing that, in this competitive landscape, employees are given the tools that they need to truly do a great job, increase those average order values, conversion to club, and such, with really having the right tools to, again, deliver customer satisfaction to connected consumers, provide on-demand services. Any other ROI measures that you follow there at Zaca Mesa?
The thing I would say is I think we have a lot of opportunity. But the club is about 50% of my business. Tasting room, maybe 35%. Phone is 10% of my business. We're on that phone. We're calling customers. If you haven't been to Zaca Mesa, we're kind of far out. We're a little bit in the sticks out here in Los Olivos. It's beautiful. It's worth the trip. But you have to want to come out to this part of the country. And so, there's a lot of places that are closer than us. So if we don't get the people in our tasting room on site, I have to go to the people. I have to call them. We have to do the email campaigns and building these relationships again, whether it's an email relationship, a phone, just talking to these people, especially these people back east. They're like, hey, what's the weather like in California? Well, it's 80 degrees and sunny. That's basically the answer all the time. But they love that, and they want to hear about, where we're at, and just these conversations. We're visiting with them on the phone things like that. And again, it's these people on the East Coast that I have a lot of opportunity with them. I have more and more people that we're reaching out to and getting more repeat business, and it's been great. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. I love hearing that from you, Kori. You know, sometimes we work with clients who their teams are afraid to call club members because they're afraid they're going to cancel because their delivery times are so long and the customer experience has not been good in between visits. You know, they maybe come out to the winery once a year, and in between they're relying on those shipments, you know, as a big customer service tool. So I love hearing that you're not afraid to pick up the phone because you can commit to a 2 to 3 day turnaround. You can commit on exceptional experiences with wines that are being shipped. So Jim, I would love to hear from you a little bit about the ROI experience as well. I mean, wineries using WineDirect for fulfillment services, what kind of ROI are you seeing? But what can they expect by making the move?
So, you know, I can tell you immediately, you know, what do we do that nobody else does? And we've talked a lot about fast shipping and, you know, getting those shipment notifications out to consumers immediately. You know, we offer the ability for the consumer to receive SMS tracking notification if they prefer that, to redirect packages on their phone and reduce transit time. So there's all these little things, and you know, not one of them is going to completely, you know, create this, you know, step change in your DTC business. But when you add them up, you know, like maybe it's like 1 and 2%, we're starting to see a really, you know, profound impacts for our customers. And I'll give you, for instance, so one thing we've been tracking is, you know, consider this like a same store sale. So a winery, we look at, you know, their business before starting to work with Vin65 and WineDirect, and then we look at it after. And this was probably one of the proudest moments that I've had in the recent year. But in 2016, when you compare this set of wineries before and after using WineDirect and Vin65, that set of wineries is growing 24% year over year, compared to the industry average as reported, you know, by Wines and Vines, is about 16, 17%, which is great. Everybody should be proud of 16, 17%. But, you know, the fact that our customers are growing 50% faster when they use these tools, you know, finally proves that, you know, everything that I've been saying, or we've been saying here for years about customer experience matters. You know, you can retain customers by providing these services that are on par with the giants of e-commerce. So anyway, there's nothing better than to see that, you know, actually making kind of top line and bottom line impacts for our customers. And, you know, when I go to meet with wine club managers and tasting room managers that took a chance on us, you know, 1 or 2 years ago, and they're now, you know, promoted, and, you know, they're moving up the chain in their own business, it makes me, you know, really happy to see that happen.
79% of adults in America now shop online, according to TechCrunch, a December 2016 study. So, you know, it's really just, it's no longer, you know, is it safe to shop online? Is it easy to shop online? Is it fun to shop online? You know, thanks to the increase in mobile commerce and the increase in size of cell phones and smartphones and tablets, and now even baby boomers are getting in the game with, you know, FaceTiming and Skyping with their grandchildren. And so they've become much more tech savvy in the last 5 years or so. It's a really exciting time to see where direct-to-consumer wine sales will continue to go 2017 and onward. As we wrap up,
just got to give us a call or send an email to sales@WineDirect. And we've got, you know, dozens of people here that have been either working in wineries, running wine clubs in the trenches, that have been customers that came to work for us. And they'll tell you exactly how easy it is to get started. It takes, you know, 3 to 5 days. And, you know, the actual impact that we're making for small, medium, and large wineries all over the U.S.
Excellent. And just some of my key takeaways from today's case study, you know, when it comes to the ROI, the big one that I heard through our time together is that 2 to 3 day turnarounds. It's truly being able to deliver nationally a 2 to 3 day turnaround and really meet that commitment. The number of returns being minimized by 50% when you can get the transit time down to 3 days or less. That's huge. The fact that WineDirect continues to invest in facilities and technology throughout the nation is truly helping wineries like Zaca Mesa and others reach their direct-to-consumer sales, but also their club member retention goals. And so I'm really excited to take time out today to learn more about how this experience has worked for both of you. Again, this is Sandra Hess, founder of DTC Wine Workshops. Case study number 8 will be available online at dtcwineworkshops.com case study page. Thanks so much and make it a great day.